Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I am joined by some phenomenally talented global mobility specialists from General Motors. Today we have Lisa Ewers. Hey Lisa, how's it going?
Hi, fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And Merrill Markiewicz, how you doing, Merrill?
Yeah, I'm good too.
Awesome. And you guys are like right my back, not literally in my backyard, but like that'd be weird. But
No,
like
we are literally in your backyard.
you're literally I'm
Hi.
outside. It's like Scream 7. Um I was thinking that I was like, we could actually do this one like in person, like socially, like 6 feet apart, standing in the snow,
I would
freezing.
be.
I would be
And I
into it
really
too.
need a coffee.
I
Then
was
you
trying to
need.
decide with my husband where I would do this. I was like, I should just go outside. The dogs won't bark.
Are you outside right now? Are you like in a
I'm
like
in
what
my porch, but it's like a 3-season porch,
three
lots of
seasons
windows.
room?
Had to get some good light.
No, your light is phenomenal right now. I love it. We got people checking in right now. Leave a comment. Let me know who you are, where you are, what you're up to. Shout out your company. Let me know if you're sitting outside for some mysterious reason right now. Check in with us. I think it'd be fun. Can we take a real quick audience poll? Who's sitting outside right now? Okay, over under 10% of the people are sitting outside watching.
Might get crickets.
Let's see. Victoria McCullar. Hi, Ben and guest. What's up, Victoria, down there in the Big D? Tim Quirk, hello, Lisa, Merrill, and Ben. This is going to be a great show. Western New York's excited for your great content. Thank you, Tim. Tim's inside. Okay, good. One for one inside.
Yes.
Expected, par for the course there. Hit that like button. Go ahead, check in. We got, Brian Rivers checking in from First Tech Federal Credit Union. Can't wait to have Brian on the show on Friday. Super excited about that. I see Jason Rollins checking in. Jason, where are you at? On the West Coast, right? Sacramento, if I recall. Laura checking in. Hi. Checking in. Lisa and Merrill. We got Alan's been a faithful viewer over there in Europe. Hi, everyone sitting
Go
inside.
Germany.
Yeah, speak to him in
I
German. We
had
want to hear it. Speak
How,
German.
how many languages do we have represented? I was looking both y'all up and kind of doing some research here. Can we add the languages? Lisa, how many languages do you speak?
Well, German and English. I'm trying my hardest at Spanish, but
Yeah,
I'm
we'll count it.
getting pushed back to the beginner level every 6 months, so I'm not doing.
So you're like regressing. You're like 2 steps forward, 2 steps
I get
backward.
really into it for some time, and then the account stops, and then next half year I have to start at the same level again.
We're going to count it for the purposes of this. We're counting. There's not a lot of rigor in our methodology here. Meryl, Meryl, you got some languages too, don't you?
Yeah, I speak French. It has kind of diminished a little bit, but it's getting back up there. And I lived in Japan for a couple years, so I speak a little bit of Japanese and dabble in Spanish. Just
Nice.
chilling. But I'm always saying that Lisa has better English than me. I don't know why, but I'm always like, Lisa, what's that? Well, at least when we're in the office, but Lisa, what's that word?
I'll
I,
take it.
I feel like you guys are doing crossword puzzles together. You're down there at the Rinsen, like, what's 4 letters for? That's just how I
You
envision
should
it.
try.
I don't know. You play some Sudoku, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. We got Heather checking in. What's up, Heather? Global LT. Got to get Heather on the show one of these days.
Yes,
We're done.
you do. She is a riot.
Heather has the coolest Zoom backgrounds. Whenever I do Zoom sometimes. She's got the friend's living room Zoom background.
What?
Oh, nice.
I know. At first, I was like, "That's a cool apartment." I was like, "How did you get
I
here?"
recognize that one.
Like, no, that's the friends. Jessica Miller, absolutely inside.
Hi,
Hi, Jessica.
That's great. Welcome, Jessica. Express in the house. Stacy Huff, looking forward to today's show. This is great. I promise we're going to get to the questions. Hey, if you got questions for Lisa and Merrill, leave them in the comments. I want to get to your questions as well. I got a bunch of my own, but I always want to prioritize your questions out there. If you're watching, hit that like button. Keep checking in. This is great. Zach checking in from Amelia Island in Florida. I know, Zach, where you're at. Let me know when you're not in Amelia Island. I'm coming over. Inside and still cold today. See, if anybody's should be outside, it's the guy living in Florida on the
Yeah.
island.
Is it really cold? I doubt that.
Yeah, what's cold? Are you like one of those people that's like, oh, we're wearing a sweater, it's 60, you know? Are you one of those people that?
Oh, I would wear a
I'm
winter
sure.
jacket now.
Yeah. Juan checking hi, Ben, and guest from Dallas, Texas. What's up, Juan? Mary Lee, Happy New Year. She's not sitting inside. She's in Minnesota. Jason, Foxborough, Mass. How was I totally off? Could I be further off than Sacramento to Foxborough? Catherine Williams, Global LT checking in. This is great. Let's see. Hello to the ladies checking in from Germany.
Oh, more Germans. They're here for you.
Yes.
All right, we got some language. We got to have an impromptu language test right now. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
You ready?
We'll see, I guess.
Okay, this one, you know what? And we're gonna switch it up. So Lisa speaks German. So Merrill, this one's for you, okay? And then Lisa, you tell her how she's.
Ja Rule. Good speaking German.
Almost.
How'd she do, Lisa?
Great. Fantastic.
Basically fluent.
What does it say, Lisa? Help us out. What does it
Germany,
say?
there's no difference. You can go. You're ready to go.
What does it mean?
Yes, please. Please in German as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Similar to what I said.
Yeah, I told you. And I think Ben is frozen.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, he's just really having a good time smiling at us. I'll take that.
Well, okay. Well, why we lost Ben, I guess, Lisa, why don't you tell us what you do for your job?
What I do. Oh, no.
Oh, am I back? Okay. All right. I'm back. I had to go check that answer. Okay. I'm back now. All right. I'm back. I went all the way to Bordeaux. I got my friend Henri. Yes. Question asker. He says this in French, and I'm going to ask Lisa, what does it mean?
Well, I have no idea. I think the first word is hi, hello, or something.
Yeah.
That is good enough. That needs to be good enough.
Bonsoir is good evening.
Bonsoir,
tout le monde is.
All right. So what does this mean?
Just hi, everybody. Good evening.
Merrill, what does it mean?
I'm telling you.
Good evening. There you go. In the monde, isn't that the world, like from across the world or somewhere around the world?
Hello, everybody. Hello, all the world.
All the world. Hello, world. William Keating, he's actually the one. So Lisa can blame Merrill for dragging her into this, and you can blame Will. Will's the one that recommended you for the show today.
Thanks, Will.
And my connection with Will goes back to my time back in Japan because he was our DSP.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about how I got so many things I want to ask you. Let's talk about how you both got in the business, okay? So Merrill, tell a little bit about your history there in Japan and kind of how you got into global mobility.
Yeah, so I met a boy. He was really nice. We got married, and then he said, oh, by the way, I need to go on this assignment. So very, very early in our marriage, then we headed off to Japan and spent 2 years there. And that time I was like, just kind of blown away, like, oh my goodness, there's a whole industry around, traveling and working. And I've always been really interested in that. And I traveled a bit, moving through high school, college. So yeah, that's how I found it. And even talked to Will a little bit, saying like, okay, so there's this industry, like, what do you know? Who do I talk to? And found myself then, once I got back to the States, starting to work for BGRS, found a position there and worked as a consultant. And that was, it was awesome. It's such a cool industry. And I was like, I found my people. So, yeah. And then from there, just loving learning more and more about the industry. And that's how I found myself over here at GM, just hungry to learn more.
I think man is frozen again.
I know, poor guy.
Yeah.
So Lisa, I guess we can segue to you.
Well,
Tell us how
switch
you
over
got
to
here.
me, that's fine.
You got into this business as
Almost
well.
not similar, but oh, there you go again. I'm just gonna segue over to my story here. Not
Yeah, please
similar,
please do. Just take it away.
but similar in a way that it's almost accidental too. I was studying in Germany, and we had a mandatory internship that needed to be outside of Germany, and I came to the US and worked with expats here a little bit and kind of got introduced to everything that way. And it's the same thing, like, oh my God, this is interesting. There's so much out there. It's so different than any other topic you learned in school or heard about as a job before. So it's really intriguing. And going back to Germany, it's just didn't have enough at that point. I had to come back, do more, and really get into the business. And as Mara said, there's so much out there. It's never boring. Every day is something different that comes your way, and it just really keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. This is like the industry that I never knew existed, but was like thrilled existed.
Yes.
Just because like I studied in college French and business, and it's like, great, what does that mean though? Like, what am I going to do with that? And finding this was like, bam, that's what you're going to do with it.
It should be more advertised. It was the same in college. You learn all these things about business and different management positions, but no one tells you about this, and it should be more and better advertised.
So Lisa, this is like reminds me of like when I met you, and if my internet's terrible, I'm gonna just mute myself and step away and fix it. So I know I'm kind of freezing right now. So if my internet's bad, just let me know and I'll go try to fix it. But this reminds me of when I met you, Lisa.
Do you remember?
Can you hear me first of all? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I do remember. Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised, Lisa? I want to hear this because you wrote that in your note to me. What?
There were so many people.
There were a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people. Okay, here's the deal. My internet's terrible. I want you to tell the story, but I totally remember. I'm gonna go fix my internet. You tell this story. No, I get no. Okay, you want me to tell the story? Do I sound terrible? Is it choppy?
No,
okay, I'm gonna tell the story.
You're perfect right now.
I'm good. Okay, I might have like 30 seconds, so here goes. All right, so I met you in Grand Rapids at the My SHRM event, Michigan SHRM event. We were at, this was like a party. There was like, you do these parties at conferences, right? I forget who was hosting it. It might have been a law firm or something. And I'm like there solo. I don't know anybody. I'm not in the SHRM circle. Like I'm totally unknown in this thing. I don't know anybody, which is like really cool for me because that doesn't normally happen. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I can do whatever I want. Like it's gonna be fun, And so like I started like manning the check-in book. Like there's like a check-in book at a table, and there's like name badges, and you kind of like write your name and your email, whatever.
Oh, I really want to hear this.
Whatever. And so I'm like, all right, am I out now? I'm just gonna stand next to the check-in book and greet people as they come in, ask them to sign the book, even though it's not my party, and then I'm gonna make them a badge, and then I'm gonna give them a badge. And you came in with like 2 or 3 other ladies who were, am I dying right now?
No, you are good.
All right. I'm here now? Okay.
Yeah.
So you came in, Lisa, with like 2 or 3 other ladies in HR and other businesses, and I guess y'all had just clicked up or something. And I was signing y'all into the book and I made y'all name tags. That's how I met you.
Yeah, and
right?
I remember that very vividly because you had a name tag that I will never forget. It said, "I am LinkedIn." I'm like, what? Who does that? Who does that? And I looked you up, and there was like, I don't know, many thousands connections you had. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
That is so funny.
Well, it was one of those like funny, funny name tags, I think. And I think, I don't know. I don't think I actually wrote it myself.
Well, that
Maybe
explains it.
I don't
If
know.
you made them, and you had that name tag.
True. All right, I'm gonna go fix my internet real quick. I'm gonna be right back. I want you guys to talk about your expat experiences. Can I just prime it with that? I want you guys to discuss your respective expat experiences for the benefit of everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay, Lisa. Well, you are an expat.
Yes.
So
I think you can consider me a localization.
I think you can too. What is your expat experience?
I think mine might be a little bit different than one that is actually done or sponsored by a company. When I came here, it was initially for an internship, right? 5 months, and then you go back and finish school and do whatever you got to do after school. But I came back, but it was more like, I always wanted to work outside Germany. I wanted to have that international experience, and there was this opportunity, so I just took it. It literally just left, packed my one suitcase, and came over and stayed. So it's not really like an actual move where you get a relocation, a household good move. You have kids that you need to get out of school or kindergarten and get back into school in a new country. I didn't have any of that really. It's still, the bureaucratics behind it still apply to some extent, that you have to deregister if you have to do that in your country, social security, banking, all these things you still got to do in home and host country. So you learn how you can appreciate when there is someone who can actually guide you. Like I had some guidance. I'm not going to say I totally did it on my own. There were people that helped me, definitely. But I think it's different than from what I see now we do and offer as policies to people who move around the world. So now you can actually see like, okay, so that's how it's done when you move with a family. You have all these other things attached to it that I didn't have. Do I look back and regret it? Absolutely not. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those snap decisions that turn out to be the best decisions in your life. Maybe at that point, early mid-20s, I didn't think a lot about further things down the road, but absolutely right decision, and it's been a great journey ever since.
Yeah, that's kind of the same. I've moved both ways. I've moved by myself, like for study abroad, and then for a fellowship I did after college. So, doing the 1 or 2 suitcases, packing everything into living.
It was very overweight. I had to convince the flight attendant 3 times to get my overweight carry-on, suitcase, and backpack through the entire checkout. He did not like me at the end of this.
I don't even know I probably just followed the rules. Like I just like following the rules. That's probably why I'm doing my job. But so yeah, so I moved like by myself, and then when I did the corporate move, I was like, whoa, this is how it could be.
So I have a question. So I'm sorry, I came in late on the conversation, but don't mean to interrupt. Thank you for being patient.
Excuse us, our show.
My bad.
Welcome.
Who are you?
We have Ben on today.
Oh my gosh, what a day. No, but you're both both talking about like your first relocation was, or international relocation, it sounds like, was done on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And now here you are managing relocations for people, and you're kind of like, you know, Merrill just was saying, like, wow, this is how it could be. I mean, is it possible? Is it feasible to have a self-directed corporate relocation? I mean, obviously we're in the business of managing these things for people, but I mean, do you foresee that being something that's done? I mean, it's done obviously a lot on the domestic side, but on the international side.
I know it's like, you know, the two parties of people that think, you know, yes, you can do it this way or that way, but I'm in the camp that it's like, no, if we can't be excited about customer experience and excited about self moves, they don't go together, in my opinion. So, you know, it's going on an assignment or localizing or whatever. It's extremely stressful, and it's even more stressful when you've got kids, animals, house. I mean, all that stuff. It's just a lot. And so to put the burden of moving on top of your already busy family life, like, no.
And working, right? You're still working.
Yeah,
You still have
exactly.
a 40-hour job. It's not like
Right.
you're excused from doing your job.
It always sounds good, like, oh yeah, I can pocket some money or do this myself, like as the employee, but I don't know. I don't think it would be ultimately good.
Yeah.
I guess it heavily depends on your situation, right? Like
Yeah.
my situation, for example, I didn't have a family. I didn't have kids to move. It was just me,
Yeah.
literally me and my suitcase going to a different country, and that was it. So I think it really depends on your circumstances,
Yeah.
and if you, and I have been here before, right? I came on an internship, so I kind of had a feeling of what is going on. I knew where I was going. I knew where I was gonna live in the area. I didn't have to discover all that after arriving. So I had kind of like a pre-assignment trip before I actually relocated. So that those things really made it easier. If you would tell me now to go to a different country without any support, where I don't know anything, I guess people manage it. In the end, you manage it and you will find your way. But is it a good experience that you will look back on and say, yes, it was a good decision that we came here?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And that might taint your entire experience of being in that country.
Yeah.
And then you resent being in that country for an experience that maybe lasted 2 months when you initially came. And after that, it might be fine, but you're always thinking back of those 2 months that didn't start out
Yeah.
right.
That's so true.
So
That's so true. Yeah. When I was in Japan, like there were definitely people that would come on assignment, and that was exactly it. It was just like, it was hard and they didn't have a good time. And then the rest of the assignment was kind of just had this dark cloud over it, and they couldn't really get out from under it. So yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, you don't get out of that mindset then, like, oh, it fell apart in the beginning, nothing is going right, and nothing will make it right. So you can be the most positive person in the world, but I guess if that comes down and something really doesn't work out, and it's personal, it's so emotional.
Yeah.
Because you're excited to go somewhere, it's a new chapter of your life, you're doing something which is maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity to go somewhere. You get super excited and positive, and then something doesn't work out because you had to take care of something by yourself that you didn't know how to.
Yeah.
It just taints the whole experience, which you already said, like customer or employee experience at that point isn't great.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, as I just ignore the fact that I can't stay on the show. Let me just ask you. Let me just ask you while I have just a moment of your time. What is the value of employee experience? We talk about employee experience all the time, but and we treat it as a truth that is self-evident. But like, really, why is it important as people who manage that experience, as like the keepers of the employee experience in the relocation process? Why is it so critical? Like, can you tell us like a story? Can you give us like some context maybe from your experience?
Well, I think it's important because you secured that employee because you believe in him or her, right? You want them to be part of your company. They invested their time in being part of the company and working and bringing their best work every day. So you just want to do justice by them and give them a good experience and take them by the hand and say, hey, we know this is a lot to ask from you to move halfway across the world or entirely across the world and back. So you're giving 100% every day when you come to work. You're realizing we need you somewhere, right? If we send you on an assignment or a localization, we need you to go there because we need your expertise. So in order to like acknowledge that you're doing that for us, I guess the least we can do is have a good employee experience.
Yeah, and like, not only do we want them to have a good time there, but we want them to stay with the company and like working for the company. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in our company, a lot of it, but you know, if you don't feel positively about the company, you're not going to stay and be a part of it. So yeah, we want our employees to stay and we want them to enjoy being here.
So as a person in the Detroit area, right? I have a question. I was listening to a Freakonomics podcast the other day.
Did it happen to be the one with Mary?
Yes, it did happen. And you say Mary. Are you guys buddies? Like
Best friends? Yeah. I saw her in the elevator once, and I was like,
yeah, just like
She walked by me once, and that's.
Did you touch the hem of her garment? But I mean, seriously, she's kind of a rock star because I mean, she's the
She's awesome.
CEO of a major automotive company, and that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like, and how does that shape the way the company operates?
What is it like with her at the helm in general, or
And kind of being a part of that, and like, do you feel that in the building? Is it part of the culture? Does it like is it impactful, or is it like, hey, we've got to,
No, it's impactful. I mean, I know that like if she does, hi Mary. No, she's incredible. I mean, like what she's done in her career and how she's risen through the ranks and how she leads the company. I mean, everyone is really just, I would say, in awe, or like, you know, really just thinks that she's the best. She's so good, and
it's so present. It's like every day on intranet or it's just so present in everything.
Yeah, and she's just done so much for GM, and where I'd say really the majority of employees, not to speak for them, but at least for me and Lisa, we're really proud to work under her, because she's done, like I said, so much, and it was really fun watching the past day or so that the CES is started now, and the presentation that she and the rest of the team gave. I mean, we're doing a lot of really cool stuff, and it's, I think, because she's at the helm figuring out how to do these things.
Yeah.
How does the future look like all around that?
Well, it's a really, you know, and just kind of go on this car tangent for a minute. It really is kind of a inflection. It feels like an inflection point for the auto industry. You know, here we are now. Tesla's the most, I think, I'm kind of making this up. I think that's, you know, valuable car company in the world, you know, which is very controversial. You know, I mean, is it really? I mean, they don't sell as many units, but somehow, you know, it's kind of very speculative. You know, there's discussion. I mean, I think Chrysler just changed hands. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. You know, I think last year Ford stopped making sedans or something in the U.S. I mean, there's a lot going on. It seems like a sea change in the automotive industry. What is that like from an employee perspective, but also from like a talent perspective? You know, give us a glimpse into kind of the talent landscape, you know, as it is now, and the part of that you guys touch.
Lisa, do you have feelings?
Please, somebody else.
I do. I'm not sure how much we can really talk about talent since we're not like too much in like talent acquisition, but
we certainly work next to them,
close to it. Yeah. But it's all about the future of cars and how does that look like, being connected and everything EV, as we now announced, and driverless cars. So it's really all futuristic things that take part right now. So now is the time where we're starting to put those things into place to really address the future that some thought like is 50, 100 years away from us, and it really isn't. So there really is a big push for anything software. Everything in the car is connected by software, and I'm not an engineer, so don't ask me about any of those things, right? So it's all about that, and really being connected and going that extra mile to get there again, that customer experience, and getting a good experience for the customer and making cars ready for the future.
Just to add on that, like, I know that we're doing a lot of hiring in that, like, technology space, software space. And so I think the makeup of our company is shifting in that way because, Mary Barra has said, we're going to be a technology company, and really you're seeing that shift now. And that has changed, I think, who is hired, where they're hired, and what they're doing.
Well, and that was going to be my follow-up question to that is do you see a change in where you are mobilizing your talent, right? Do you see different regions becoming more prominent? Does it change? What's changing?
I think in a way that it's really recruiting from the entire country, really to get the best talent. Like all this tech industry is a little bit, or not a little bit, but centralized in California, right? So that's naturally where a lot of that talent is. So it's really all over the country to get to where we need to be with the talent to support the vision that we have.
From an overseas standpoint, do you see manufacturing shifting, or the requirements of the business and the demand going to new countries or new regions due to the emphasis on electric vehicles and driverless technology and some of the new components that are probably being required? I mean, is that all going to be at the same plants that have always done it, or do you start to see new hotspots emerging?
I don't think there's anything new, Lisa.
I don't think so.
I think
not
new. To prepare for this sort of pivot that GM is making, they did like a streamlining of the business, and so repurposing, like for instance, the Hamtramck plant is now what is it? Something zero, factory zero. That's what it is.
Factory zero. Yeah.
So repurposing our places to carry on our vision.
We've got some really great comments and questions coming in. I want to encourage everybody to keep leaving those comments and questions. I want to get to all of them if I can. I feel relatively good about my connection right now.
I do too. Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
I'm very optimistic.
Confidence is at a high right now. Yeah, let's just ride. We got some tailwind here. Let's ride this here. We've got some people checking in here. Jack's got some good stuff. He says employee experience is critical in that global mobility is the very first impression of your company. That is how important our role is to get it right. This is global mobility strategy. So.
Right, it gets confusing. It's
I know, super.
Done.
GM and GM. Okay. Yeah, no, great stuff, Jack. And then he actually follows it up with a question. The mobility industry is a great group, and history shows that longer you're in it, the harder it is to get out. Do you see yourself making global mobility a career at your company, or do you see this as a development path for further growth opportunities at your company outside of global mobility?
I feel like I can answer this for Lisa, both Lisa and I, that we're kind of like ride or die.
Yeah, ride or die.
We're not
Global
leaving.
mobility, life, got the tattoos and everything.
Yeah.
Once you're in it, you're not leaving.
Yeah, Lisa, we should get the GM at GM tattoos there.
GM.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great. We'll do that at the next DRRC event. We'll just
Perfect. Great.
Yeah.
We'll get liquored up and go get tattoos. That'll be great.
I mean,
No, so just getting deeper, because it was funny because Lisa, when I met you, I believe you were in immigration was your deal,
Still
right?
am.
Yeah, and then you go to GM, and are you still purely immigration, or do you have other aspects to it, or just specialized?
Yeah, so it's basically threefold. It's expats, expat assignments, then domestic relocation, and still continuing immigration. And just by the sheer volume of things that happen in immigration, that really takes up a lot of the day, actually, especially the last year. Yeah. So still there, still liking it, not going away from it, although it's crazy.
poor Ben, I think he's frozen again.
Yeah. No, you can tell what you do all day.
Okay, good. Yeah, so while you're more of like the operational arm, I'm like the background basically. So I do like policies for us, keeping those benchmarked and updated as needed, and that really takes up a lot of my job. But then other special projects, like we're still in the middle of a Workday implementation, so trying to iron out those kinks, I work doing that. And employee experience, I look at that too. So there's a lot of really interesting projects, but I'm not in the day-to-day like you are. And actually one of my goals for 2021 is to get back a little bit in to see what's going on in the day-to-day, because I miss it, but it's also really important for me to know. So
It's great. Welcome back.
Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Hey, welcome back to our show.
So we got some cool comments here. People are getting on board with the GM ride or die tattoo.
Everyone who gets
That's my
involved
mom.
needs to
Hi,
get
Mom.
one too.
Your mom's like, hey, tattoos, let's get them.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. A lot of my comments went away, but there was one actually that I believe Heather asked, and I think it was regarding immigration. While we're kind of still seeing that.
Of course.
And it was, oh, thank you. Look at that. The gods shine. Thank you so much for my wonderful production team who has my back here. Oh gosh.
Love and Relo. There you go.
Relo. Heather says, Lisa, how has this past year and immigration impacted hiring? Oh, and before we answer that, breaking news: Donald Trump was impeached for the second time. Okay.
Shocker. Nobody's shocked.
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, Heather, yes.
So how has immigration changed, Lisa, according to
Mildly. No, a lot. To go to Heather's question, last year in particular was a really challenging, interesting, different, new year for, I guess, everyone in immigration. Really, I've been doing this for some time now, but even people that have been in it for a lot longer than me, I'm fairly confident to say that was one of a kind in a year that we had. And especially to hiring, it really comes down to where you're hiring from. And if it's still within the US, there wasn't too much of an impact because you can still file. Now, that doesn't speak for all the timelines that were totally longer than we've ever seen before. Everything takes longer. It's more unpredictable to the people that really are on immigration. You wait a lot longer for any answers. You're being in this in-between space of, yes, everything was filed, you should be good, we do everything we can to make a good case for you, but in the end, it's not you who is deciding these cases, right? You're still waiting for that answer. So having these increased timelines, I think, is a real burden on those people who are on immigration and looking for sponsorship. That just doesn't make your personal life easier because, again, like global mobility too, immigration is so personal. It affects you, your entire family, your livelihood here, right? You always have this in your mind. What happens if it doesn't get approved? This is always somewhere here that doesn't go away. So I think it was a difficult year for that, and I'm really looking forward to get some normalcy into this. However normal immigration can get, let's say it that way.
Let's talk about normalcy here, because I think it's such a fascinating concept.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know what that is anymore.
You know what? But before we talk about normalcy, let's go to Henri. Henri has a comment here and says, or question. It says, a representative of a French automotive company spoke of the interest of virtual assignments as a way to cut costs and therefore hire more entry-level engineers for these expat at home positions. Does General Motors do the same thing?
I've not
And I would
heard
even
that
ask,
term
could
before.
this-
Expat at home. That's new to me, or I'm totally behind.
Sounds like just a person. An expat at home is just a person. Regular employee. Yeah, but seriously, I mean, we hear about virtual assignments. Is that a real thing in your world? And could it be?
I think it's a thing that is talked about.
Yeah.
I actually had a question too for people, like, is that really something that people have explored more or potentially are even doing already? I think we hear about it, right? Merrill, jump in at any time.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
hear about it, but
it's you hear about it, but I don't know. It's a lot of, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you doing that? Kind of like I feel like the core flex policy. Are you doing it? What's it like? Tell me. You're not doing it? Oh, do you know who is? Okay.
I hear everybody's doing it. Are you doing it? Should I be doing it? Everybody's doing it. Nobody's doing it? Wait.
I think that's what virtual assignments are right now. Like, oh, what's that like? Because so no, we're not doing that. And I think it just comes down to like all the same questions that come up for every company. You know, what does tax compliance look like? What does immigration look like? I mean,
how do you even define it? What is even the definition of virtual assignment?
Right.
I was going to say the same thing, but I didn't want to sound stupid. But I mean, it sounds like you're just hiring a remote worker. Like if I'm going to low-cost engineering talent area, let's use India, for instance, and I'm going to India and I'm saying, hey, now you work for me, but you're over here, and you're just over there. And I don't know I don't know why that's like, we're going to call it something. It sounds like I'm just have remote, or not even remote. Like I just have, I mean, I guess I have to have an entity in that country. I imagine a large corporation like you guys have entities in a ton of countries, so you couldn't just hire engineers.
I think that, like, to me, virtual assignment is like when someone already is with the company and then they're asked to do a job over in another country. And so therefore that would be their virtual assignment because they're not physically going there, but they're working for that entity in that country. That's my definition of a virtual assignment. So to hire someone for a virtual assignment, it makes less sense, but it's still, I mean, I'm sure it's a thing. I mean, we hire people to be permanently on assignment. So I guess what's the difference?
It would seem to me, and I'm the least qualified person on this call to answer this question.
I don't think that's true.
But here I go. But it would seem to me, like, and let's use India and the U.S., right? Let's just use these as our examples, right? Let's say General Motors wanted to hire 20 new engineers, and they want them to build the new GM car, and they want to save a bunch of money. And couldn't they just have the India business unit company, employ these 20 engineers, and then basically build the U.S. business unit for that work, and almost sell it to yourself, like an intra-company transfer or whatever money, so that they don't even have to be on the books of the U.S. based entity, and so you don't have to worry about the compliance and the other things. You're just making the work a product, making that product, and then selling that work to the other entity at cost or slightly above. And it seems like you can circumvent a lot of the wage. Obviously you're not paying U.S. wages.
I don't know. I think we would need to consult our tax provider. Or
yeah. Henri, love more info on that, or anybody else that knows anything concrete about this. Just hearsay, because again, this thing here, Henri says he found it weird himself. With exotic solutions like virtual assignments, we've jumped from the new normal straight into the new crazy.
We haven't gone crazy, I don't think.
Nicholas says virtual assignment, digital nomadism seems to be very potato. When you say it the same way, you miss the point. Okay, my bad. Seems to be very potato. But it does seem to come up as a topic fairly often in the last years, and more so in past years since the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Digital nomadism, work from anywhere, is this a thing?
I guess it's a thing, but
I think
is it a thing in GM?
Talked about a lot, but again, like, how do you make it happen, right? There are so many things you have to consider, and to what extent are you supporting the employee if, for example, this is a personal request? Do they need to have immigration into the other country? Are you gonna support that? Do you have a business there? Do you have payroll obligations? Do you have corporate tax issues, permanent establishment, personal tax? Are you gonna get involved in that? So it's a lot of things you really have to think about to make that happen for someone. And then for how long? How long are you okay to accept that? And which job allows you to do that? Right? Not every job allows you to go away and do it 100% remotely.
Yeah. When we are getting those requests, I mean, Lisa is a part of the committee that looks at those when people are asking to do that now.
It's case by case decision for now. It's not a blanket of you can go anywhere, everywhere you want to be, because there are so many things you have to consider, and that's part of it too, to still see and research and figure out if and how this can be made possible, if you really want to use it as a blanket statement of anywhere in the world, go.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work. And then what is the business incentive to go through all that, to put together something so complex? I mean, it's a heck of a benefit,
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that employee experience. It's retaining your employees because they might be being pulled somewhere else. And
I'm going to go to Thailand. You figure it out if you want to keep me. And, holler, I'm going to be on a canoe or something. And, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. Merrill comes in with a virtual assignment definition: someone who remains in their primary physical location, home or office, but works remotely for a business in another country. Rob chimes in with virtual insanity. Isn't that the Jamiroquai song? I don't know.
yes, yeah, I actually just almost broke out in that song. You're welcome.
Go
I
for
did
it.
not.
We got time.
Yeah.
Okay. This is great here. Jordan's enjoying this conversation, probably because I'm not on it very much. This is great. This is great. Jason's saying Glow Mo for life. That's my new company.
Oh, yeah, you know what? We wanted to talk about that. It's been a little hard. You've been a little busy going in and out, but congratulations.
Listen, if y'all want to get Glow Mo tattoos, I'll pay for them. Okay, I'll buy the drinks and I'll pay for the tattoos. Okay, if y'all want to get Glow Mo tattoos.
Do you have a logo yet?
I do have a Glow Mo logo, actually, and I should have it queued up in here so I can pull it up right now, since you asked, but I don't. Yes, I got a logo. Finalized that 36 hours ago.
Nice.
Hot off the presses.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. Trump's impeached twice. Ben has a logo. I'm just reading from CNN right now. I'm just reading. Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, so no, it's cool. No, the business is great. People have been super supportive, and I'm so blessed and so blown away by just the
you're gonna do awesome. It'll be great.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, but enough about me here. Vinny says, I don't know why I think I'm blushing. Vinny says, hi, he's checking in from sunny Portland. Is it sunny in quotes? Is it really sunny in Portland?
Is she sitting outside? That is the main question.
Vinny, are you outside right now? Are you at the Casa Valverde outdoor oasis there? He built this whole grill, tiki hut,
See, you know everybody, Ben. Your business is gonna be fine.
Right.
Him and his these people are my friends, honestly. This is
I know, and that's why you're gonna do so great.
Steve Miser, what's up, driver? Take it easy out there. Be safe, buddy. Let's see here. Let's see. I hope that comes true. Yeah. Let's see here. Logo.
We need to see it.
It's not Beetlejuice, Sandra. Okay, you don't say it 3 times and it shows up. All right. Draw it for us. Andre says draw it for us. Well, it's just plain English, high impact font. It's got there's a little twist to it. Very, very subtle, very subtle. Janice says, did you guys know there's an expat reality show streaming on Amazon now?
There is?
Oh.
Yes. So we're gonna have her on. Her name's Juanita. I forget her last name. Anyway, actually, yeah. Our friends over at Lindy Chapman at Relo Talk and Annette Walters just had her on their show, and she's basically, I think she's in Taiwan right now, and she's moved around a bunch of times, whatever. And yeah, they did 20 episodes or something about their whole thing, and anyway, check it out.
Is it expat realty, like House Hunters, or expat reality?
No, I think that's what people thought was going to either be the realty show, which is also kind of interesting. I thought I could get a mansion in Barbados, and
right.
I thought my 65 grand USD would get a mansion down here. Because everybody knows there's waterfront property.
We do actually have something like that in Germany, and all my German colleagues here can chime in. That used to be a thing. I don't know if it's still anymore, but it's like, oh, I'm living abroad. I'm going to the US to have a hot dog stand. And then they film about it. And once you know what we know about immigration and relocation, it's like, wait, what? How did you
do that? No. Yeah, how? Not compliantly. That's how.
Oh.
Yeah, seriously. No, that's... Mary Lee's asked for the logo. It's not happening, Mary Lee. I'll get it soon. I'll put it it on the day. I didn't load it. I was prepping for the show. Reese says he doesn't speak English. I was sent English to what Ben said.
Oh, we can help with that. We can interpret.
Yes. Really can feel like a reality TV show.
Yes,
No, but it's not a realty show, right? Well, those are fun too. And it's not a travel show. She was very clear about this because a lot of people thought like, okay, this is what I'm gonna get. And no, it's about the expat experience. And kind of like to our point here, nobody really understands what goes on.
Mhm.
You know, the culture shock. I mean, you know, those other shows kind of like show you like first day or whatever first experience, but they don't actually. Oh, this is great. Will Keating. Fun fact, I was the realtor on the first House Hunters International field
I was
Japan.
going to say that because I thought that Will was on there, and because someone told me recently they were watching one in Nagoya, and I was like, what did the realtor look like? Because I thought that Will was on there.
I was everywhere.
Was he oddly white? Was the realtor in Nagoya oddly American from the LBC? That's great, William. I hope you're doing good, Will. Down there at the famine in Florida. That's awesome. Zach, good mobility folks are masters at crisis management, multitasking, juggling multiple projects simultaneously, being able to maneuver at the drop of a hat. That's what makes for must-see TV.
Yeah, true. Agree.
Yeah.
Alan King says,
Oh,
yes,
it
it's
is.
still on.
Great.
Goodbye, Deutschland.
Yes.
Oh,
Look at
that's the
this.
show that Lisa was
Yes.
talking about.
Yeah, this is great.
Oh, nice.
Everybody's like almost like famous. This is great.
Well, because House Hunters International has had, a kabillion episodes, and really, like, it's so fake that, like, everyone just like goes to, I feel like, the DSP, like that's what Will was, and so, yeah, see, everyone was on House Hunters because they have to find
wasn't.
people. Oh, that's what the show is called, the Expats International Ingrams.
Her name is Juanita Ingram. There you go,
Mm.
International Ingrams. Yeah, so we're gonna have Juanita on. That sounds really cool. Cynthia Meyer checking in. Okay, you know what? We did a top 5 with both of you. This is the first time we did a top 10. Dare I say?
Oh.
Doing math on the fly here. So we did a top 5 twice. So we're gonna do both of your top 5s. And we're gonna do them quick though, because we don't have a lot of time. So we're gonna do like a lightning round top 5. Okay. So I'm going to ask my wonderful assistant producer, Stacy. She's giving me the highest on it. Okay, let's start with the first one. Here's what's going to happen. I am going to read, I'm going to say like number 1, and then like you're going to read your answer and then explain. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, first category. Top 5 reasons to move to Michigan.
It's great. What are you talking about?
I'm the Ron Burgundy of relocation. Michigan? I just read whatever's on the teleprompter. Okay. Yes. Number 1 or number 5.
I do want to say I had no order into these, so I didn't realize there was an order to it.
Just go with it.
Number 5.
Number 5, the UP is great. It's awesome for everyone and anyone who likes and enjoys nature.
I'm going to
logo here.
Okay, insert logo. Insert graphic of nature. Okay, what is the UP, first of all?
The Upper Peninsula. Do you know how long it took me to know what that is when people around me said that? I'm like, where is that? Where are you going? Oh, it's this short drive through Michigan, which
Right.
in my German brain equals to I'm in France or Italy.
Right, so people do this like, oh, Michigan's super simple. It's just a hand. It's a mitt, right? But they never do like the over the top deal, right? It's like, yeah.
A double hand.
It's the double hand. It goes like this, and it's like basically Canada, but we conquered it or something. I don't understand. Somehow we got that in some sort of deal that I don't know about. All right, so yeah, the UP, they're called Upers. I've never been. I'm going to move away from Michigan in less than a month, and I've never visited the UP.
That's a travesty. But...
Should I go in February?
Yeah.
if you
No,
like
you can do
snow,
all fun snow stuff.
It seems like the worst month to visit the UP.
yeah, you kind of missed your window.
But you have to like snow.
Yeah, I like it. It's all right. You know. Number 4.
Number 4, beaches in summer and snow in winter. Very self-explanatory. It's really hot in summer and really cold in winter. It's great.
Awesome. Okay, number 3.
Number 3, Detroit is great. It's really, even me who isn't from here is seeing the change that is happening in Detroit, which I think is really cool to watch. And again, I don't have that history. I didn't grow up here, so I don't have that strong of an attachment to it. But even in the few years that I've been here, it's changed so much. And from the first time when I visited it, my friends and colleagues were saying, oh my God, you go straight in and straight out. You don't look at anyone. You don't stop at any red lights. You just go. And now it's this nice place where you can actually hang out.
Detroit is the only city I've ever lived in where the people who are from Detroit don't like it as much as the people who are new to Detroit. Like the people that are new to Detroit have more sentimentality and love for Detroit, I feel like, than the people that are like growing.
That's probably true.
It's a bizarre. It's so because it was so bad for so long. And it's like so back, but people, it has such a connotation. Rob weighs in. This is the great part about having a crowd here watching this. Really nerdy fun fact. Michigan was given the UP, the Upper Peninsula, in exchange for Ohio getting Toledo.
Wow, what a nice trade.
I have so many things to say about that. I'm trying to be positive.
Sarcasm in here.
I'm trying to be positive. I just... Okay, number 2.
Again, snow. I think by now you realize I like snow. I do.
3 of your top 5 are snow related. Okay.
Yes, and it's great.
Snow is great. Snow is underrated. Underrated.
Yes.
Number 1.
You have seasons.
No.
What kind of, I sense a theme here.
No,
Lisa likes it here. Lisa likes the
Germany has seasons too, right? And you have a little bit of spring, you have summer, but then it's this gray something until the next summer. So it's not, at least where I'm from, not speaking for anyone else out there. So you don't have an actual spring, an actual summer, fall, and winter. And I just like the change. I just like the change of seasons. I get bored after a while. It's like, okay, summer's done. What's next? So let's move on to fall. So it's nice to have seasons.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I'm going to miss that.
Well, I was going to say, you're not agreeing enough to stay.
I mean, I don't move places for the snow. I tell you that much. I don't. Okay. Next top 5. Merrill, this one's going to you here.
Yeah.
Top 5 worst New Year's resolutions for 2020.
Yeah.
Those are fun. Those are good.
Okay. All right. Number 1.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. Let's cut down on the screen time for our kids.
How did that work out?
Well, I had a baby, and then the toddler learned all about Frozen 1, Frozen 2, Moana. Shall I keep going?
Oh, I know the canon. I know the catalog. Yes. I have a 2 and a 5-year-old, and they both have a tablet. Yes.
Yeah, she's a passionate consumer now of Disney.
We do have a critique. Don't you mean 2021?
No, this was just a joke. Maybe for 2021, this could be something that we could do. But I thought it was funny to think about resolutions for 2020, the ones that we might have made for 2020.
Might have made it didn't work out. All right, number 4.
Yeah, really want to focus on shopping in person. Shop local. Don't go to Amazon. It's bad, evil.
Amazon is where we're cowering in our homes. Yeah, no, that didn't work out either. Yeah, my farmer's market is not doing well right now.
Oh.
Number 3.
Yeah, make sure to have a date night out of the house at least once a week, just to reconnect, you know.
In the snow.
Just to reconnect. No, reconnect. We need time to reconnect. No, we need time away from one another.
Yeah, it's like, can I reconnect with myself alone?
A date? Can I have a date with George? Can I go out and go see George? Because I haven't seen George in like 12 months.
Yeah,
All right, number 2.
Number 2, join a gym. Get out, work on your fitness in public with lots of people.
Breathing heavily around you. Yeah, a 12-month gym membership sounds real good, Jan 1 in 2020.
Seriously.
But you can't get out of. Thanks. Number 1.
Yeah, number 1 was take an international vacation.
What is that?
The one you've always been wanting to take. And you know what? Make sure you buy the fare non-refundable. It's cheaper.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yes, I was trying to take my wife on our 10-year anniversary. I was trying to take her on a trip to Italy for April. And
Went great.
she wouldn't let me book it, though, so we did that. She saw COVID coming.
Oh,
So,
God.
hey, this was awesome. We're a bit over time, but I do want to leave you just with each with a final thought, final word. So, would you give us a final word, Lisa? Final thought.
Final word. Oh, now you're putting me on the spot. Like in general about the show, everything, it's been great. This was fantastic. I love your show. It's so insightful. You have so many people on. It's great to get different perspectives and seeing different speakers come on and just learning about different things every day, just little by little. So thanks for having us.
Thank you, Lisa. And I miss having our Indian lunches, our quarterly Indian lunches.
Yeah, we should do that before you leave.
Well,
If only the restaurants were open, right?
The Indian food in Detroit is actually really good, especially that Farmington area. Merrill, final thought?
Yeah, just also thanks for having us on. This was fun, but I just want to invite other people to connect with me too. I do the benchmarking, the majority of the benchmarking for our team, and I love to connect and see what other people are doing, or if you have cool ideas. Yeah, hit me up on LinkedIn. I think that's probably the best way to do it. The easiest.
You don't want to give out your home address, maybe, or just
no, it's very nice, but please stay away.
LinkedIn is good. LinkedIn is good. Yeah, and let her know about those remote assignment.
Yeah.
And the tattoos. Don't forget the tattoos.
We're getting the tats. Our tattoo parlor's even open right now. I mean, yeah.
Oh, we'll remind you. Don't worry.
Well, more tats. Well, once you see the logo, then we can talk. Okay, awesome. This was great. This was wonderful. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Thank you for staying in there. Hit that like, hit those applause there for Merrill and Lisa, and thank you for your comments. They make the show so much more fun. So thank you for being a part of it today and being with us today. And Merrill, Lisa, thank you again for being here. It was such a blast to talk to you.
Thank you.
See you guys tomorrow, same time. We've got some really great stuff for the rest of the week, and I'm not going to spoil it, but you should definitely tune in. So see you tomorrow.